What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Totski, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're back with some more treasure map action, and of course we're going to go ahead and just kick things off straight into the playthrough against Arlong. This team that you're seeing here is slightly different to the team that I showed in my own treasure map teams video. This team does have slightly more points, as I'm able to put characters like Wano Law 6+ on here. I do have the Super Tandem Luffy Super Evolution. Luckily, he's also really nice for this team. So the way that this team is actually working, I talked about it a little bit in my preparation video in terms of like the way you get around it. Frankie's very useful here because of his captain ability. If you tap perfect with a character that has barrier pierce potential ability and you activate the barrier pierce potential ability, it's going to remove 2 turns of defense up. So by using the super switch of Nami and Carrot, we can remove 3 turns of increased defense, and then we can go ahead and hit a few perfects and stuff with our barrier pierce units to break through. We have so much HP, they're not really worried about dying from the burn anyway. That's not really that big of a deal. And then because of the final stage in terms of how much paralysis that is actually inflicted here, I did go ahead and upgrade the whale shark ship to remove 1 turn of paralysis. We have paralysis removal from Corazon and Rayleigh, and then we also have Usopp support attached to Nami and Carrot. When we launch the special, it does remove 1 turn of paralysis for us, so that all combined with the supports in the ship does remove the paralysis for us. We have an orb boost from Mihawk, color affinity from Frankie, attack boost from Luffy, chain boost from Tom, and that should be more than enough damage to get through this content. Moving on to our first Battle Rush boss against Fukuro, and we talked about this in the preparation video, but basically Wano Law as your captain and then treasure map free-to-play Jinbei as your crewmate. Just that alone is going to enable you to kind of just beat this content pretty simply. Activate Jinbei to remove the paralysis and special bind, Law special for chain boundary or boost end of turn damage, and that's basically it. Pretty easy fight, no real major issues here at all. I did see some individuals who were utilizing Stampede Luffy, support of the Psy Legend Uta to remove the special bind, and then having an end of turn damage support on one of your other crewmates in order to get through the content. Pretty fast way to do it as well, but this team also does get the job done with high points. Moving on now to our second Battle Rush boss against Ikaros. This one is also pretty simple when you're utilizing Cat Viper and Dogstorm. We're using Hiyori as our crewmate as well to generate a full board of Wano slots at the start of the quest, and because we wave clear the first 2 stages, those slots will be carried into the final room. There is Fear and Special Reverse on the final stage, which is why we have the Carrot support Rare Recruit attached to Dogstorm, and that will give us the ability to get -2 turns of cooldown on the final stage, which means we can activate the Dogstorm special to give everyone cooldown, activate the Cat Viper special for an orb boost, and that should be more than enough to get through, at least in these early stages of treasure map. The third Battle Rush boss up against Sasaki. This is a pretty tough fight. In terms of the raw amount of gimmicks in this quest, this is pretty difficult. But for some reason, Ace and Yamato counter a majority of the gimmicks that you're dealing with here. They deal with the bind that you're inflicted with, they deal with the special bind, and because they have the potential ability of hunger, then they already deal with a lot. You do have to somehow find a way to generate tandem slots, because you need tandem slots to break through Sasaki's barrier. It's either that, or you find a way to remove the 3 turns of barrier that he has. So by using some key supports to generate an orb boost, we have color affinity as well from one of our supports. We have supports to get around paralysis, and then we activate the Luffy special for the full board of tandem slots and the attack boost, and that's all we need in order to kill Sasaki. Moving on to our final boss, or our final Battle Rush boss, that is, up against Senor Pink. I've seen a couple of different ways that people are trying to approach this one. I find just using Gear 5 Luffy just to be kind of the easiest way to do it. So with Gear 5 Luffy, you activate the EX Super on the final stage, which makes your normal attacks go through enemy defensive effects, and due to that, we can ignore the damage reduction and the damage nullification. We have Katakuri on the team for the support of Perisperis, stating that whenever we're inflicted with chain attack down, we get a 2.75 times chain lock, which gives us a way to get around the chain attack down. We have Brook for wave clearing, Sanji gives an orb boost, Frankie gives a color affinity boost, and at least for right now, this is more than enough damage to get through Senor Pink very comfortably. And now we get to our final boss up against Spandam. So I'm going ahead and using the Legend Usopp that debuted in last month's treasure map. This Usopp's actually pretty dope for this because he removes a ton of damage threshold. And we've got a lot of ways to get around threshold with this team. But the interesting thing about this squad and how it works is that we activate a ton of specials on stage 2. So because of the stun, we're going to be using Arlong special to get rid of that. We're also going to be activating Tom's special, but because of the way that Tom works, we need to have tap timing bonus damage to actually get the chain boost of Tom to last for 3 turns, and it's important because there is chain attack down in the final stage. So we're going to use the Frankie special first, which gives color affinity, but because of Frankie's captain ability, that will actually extend the color affinity to 3 turns. So his color affinity will still carry over to the final room, which is fantastic. And then we activate, Tom, of course, which gives the ability to remove attack down. Mihawk removes the color affinity, but also so does Frankie and Tom, which is kind of nice. And then on the final stage, we only really need to use Usopp's effects and Nami Karina. We start off as Karina and switch into Nami because Nami as a strength unit does not get cooldown in this fight. So by using Usopp Superclass to get an orb boost, Usopp Special for set target status and removing the threshold, and then we also have Nami Karina to remove paralysis, which allows us to get the paralysis slots to become matching. So yeah, pretty fun team, gets the job done, and that is my playthrough of the treasure map. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.